Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
Thursday night talks.
Ooh.
Live? Are we
Yes.
live?
We are live. Is there any
Okay.
doubt in that we are live?
We are live and we
It
are
says-
here. Welcome in.
It says live right there. Right there. It says live.
welcome everyone. Welcome to Thursday Night Talks. This is we've had an amazing week so far, guys. I think so.
Yes, we have.
Yes,
It's Ramadan. Of course, it's amazing, right?
Always, every day. Anyway. So
Let us
listen.
begin, family.
Let us begin. So, anyway, again, welcome in. Thank you all for joining Thursday Night Talks. It's a pleasure to have you all here this evening. And I am Sister Michelle. I am the co-host of the 7th Region Coalition Thursday Night Talks. So, before I get started, you all know what I like to do. I always like to remind you to do a few things. There you go.
Don't forget. Don't
There
forget.
it is. Like and share.
Subscribe.
I always like subscribe if you're on YouTube. It's
Like,
really
don't
simple. Just
dislike,
tap the button. Just
like.
tap the button. It is.
If
It's
you
easy.
dislike, just keep it moving. But
Yeah,
No,
because
like,
you're right. Because on
love.
YouTube they can not
Do a
like.
thumbs
we ain't
down.
gonna- we
Yeah.
ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna
Yeah.
go
I'm just that was a thought because I was
there.
like,
But
why would they
here's
even do that?
here's what they need to do though. Share.
There you
Share and discuss what we are discussing here tonight
Right.
and how we could benefit your life. Every program that we have, beloved family, we are talking about the improvement of human life.
That's
Because
right.
we are about saving lives.
There it is. There you drop the bomb. So listen, like we already said, share, but you have to grab a friend, family member, someone in your house, or get on your phone. Tag somebody in Facebook and on
Tag
YouTube.
me
You
and
could absolutely,
you, your mom and your cousins too.
absolutely.
That's right.
You can do
That's
all
Like
of that.
Outcast.
Exactly. And it just takes a couple of seconds. So
That's
anyway,
right.
I just want to thank everybody for coming in. And again, don't forget to come on our Facebook page because we have a plethora amount of
Yes.
content that you can check out at any time you like and on YouTube. So
That's
if
right.
you miss an episode, you can always go back and listen. So anyway,
That's
I just want to thank everyone again for coming in. Greetings, assalamu alaikum to our Muslim family and friends. Happy Ramadan, Ramadan Mubarak. It's just been a blessing of a Ramadan. So anyway, before I even get started into Ramadan, because I'm having a wonderful Ramadan day, I'm going to pass the mic over to Sister Kalila, where she will take our program forward. Thank you.
Listen, I'm so busy liking and sharing and sharing and liking and liking and
Come
sharing.
on.
Listen, because this is going to be a great show. First of all, I want to thank everybody who has already tuned in to our 9 series Unity with the
Mm.
9 ministries. This is actually our last ministry of the actual
Series.
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 And I am just so excited that we have look. And then we might have something very ain't no might. We will have something in store for you all, especially those who have been tuning in to this wonderful series of Unity. We might have something special, so stay tuned. But I want to first of all, excuse my manners. Assalamu alaikum. May Allah continue to bless everyone. Ramadan Mubarak to my Muslim family. Praise the Lord. I'm glad that you all in the building. And we're going to have a wonderful day. I was just talking to Brother Tony about the mind and how we came up with these beautiful guests because we was like, science and technology.
Yeah.
Who can we bring for science and technology? Well, I think we brought the best people for science and technology. What you think, Brother
Yes.
Tony?
You know that song,
Yes.
Leela, you know that song, Don't Look Any Further?
Don't look any
Yeah.
further. Don't have me singing. Don't have me singing, Brother
Here we
Tony.
go.
Don't have me singing, Brother
Mateo.
Tony.
Mateo.
Hey.
Jumbo
But
Shingayo.
listen, we got the best guests for this particular series. So stay tuned. I am going to pass it over to Brother Tony, and he's going to bless us with the last series of what we're going to be discussing tonight.
Okay, yes, ma'am. All praise is due to Allah. Let me begin properly, beloved family. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, the one God to whom holy praises are forever due, the Lord of the world, who came in the person of Master Bard Muhammad, the supreme being to whom holy praises are forever due. I am forever
That's right.
thankful to Almighty God Allah for showing his divine favor among Black people and the aboriginal peoples of the earth and raising one from among us.
That's right.
One that was raised was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, and now Mahdi, the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. And I thank them both for the star student of the class that is giving guidance to
Come on.
multitudes of our people. I thank Allah eternally for the eternal door to the eternal leader of the nation of Islam, and that is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Welcome to Thursday Night Talks. Assalamu alaikum, Abaragani, Hotep, Buenas noches, Sakpase, whatever language you speak, we're greeting you in those languages right now.
That's
It is
right.
our goal to reach out to all of our people with this awesome message of
That's
saving lives. My name is Brother Tony Muhammad, and I am a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we, as the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives, we were assembled by our student regional minister, Student Minister Patrick Muhammad, soon after the
Right.
criterion message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on July 4th, 2020. We were assembled
Ooh.
together to warn our people about an experimental, I'm not going to call it a vaccine, it was an inoculation,
Right.
where we are already seeing the detrimental effects of people going out and, having trust in those experiments. But we were warning our people for some time
Right.
about the dangers of those kind of experiments. But today, we are warning our people in all facets of life, all aspects of science and technology and education and all the other ministries that are part of the 9 ministries assembled and put together by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And he revealed this at the 2005 Million Moors movement.
That's
and so
right.
tonight, the focus is the science of the mind, and that corresponds to the Ministry of Science and Technology. The Ministry of Science and Technology is the continuous development of technological resources. For example, the application of scientific knowledge to the solution of human problems. The ministry embraces the broad discipline of engineering and its sub-disciplines, including civil engineering, the design and construction of public and private works, such as airports, roadways, railways, water supply and treatment, bridges, dams, and buildings, also chemical, electrical, aeronautical, and mechanical engineering. This ministry will also utilize information technologies to improve overall efficiencies of all ministries, including the use of websites and webcasts. This division will work closely with the Ministry of Information to develop standard IT protocols and operating procedures and encourage technological education and training. And where does the science of the mind fall into that? It is the root of it all. So we are looking forward to having that beautiful discussion with our beautiful guests here tonight.
Praises be to Allah. So we just gonna get right started because I know we already done boosted y'all heads and said, hey, this is what we're gonna do and when we're gonna do it and what we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna pass the baton to Sister Felicia and we're gonna start reading those bios. Sister Felicia, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Our first guest is Brother Lawrence Muhammad, who is a successful graphic and web designer. He is a father of a beautiful daughter named Aaliyah, who is the apple of his eye. He attended the University of New Orleans and the University of Louisiana at Monroe, majoring in computer science. Brother Lawrence is a certified Gold Seal Dianetics auditor and a certified communication supervisor. He loves motivating and helping others to see the best in themselves. Being a teacher and inspirational speaker, Brother Lawrence is well known for his work in the community by helping others with self-improvement, emphasizing mental health, and promoting well-being. Brother Lawrence Muhammad.
Awesome.
We'll see our brother in just a moment.
Absolutely. So next up, I have the pleasure of introducing our sister Naira Muhammad. She is an inspired visionary, founder of Repair of the Black Family Inc. She's a dynamic speaker, spiritual advisor, transformational life coach, master retreat leader, active member, and captain emeritus in the Nation of Islam. Woo. She inspires and motivates those she serves to experience a total transformation through the example of her purpose-driven life. Sister Naira specializes in releasing generational trauma, patterns, and stories through her keen intuition. Her goal is to use her life experiences and training in re-education and reformation to help bring one from darkness into light. She strives to enlighten and works daily to help repair the Black family and humanity. She has spoken to thousands of listeners, worked with many faith-based organizations, youth groups, community leaders, volunteers, and schools. She has shared the stage and has been trained by certified speaker Les Brown. Sister Naira has helped many men and women and families obtain optimum health by improving the function of the spirit, mind, and ultimately the body. Her mission in life is to help restore the Black family's customs and beliefs while working to help bring a universal government where we can all live in peace regardless of class, creed, and color.
All praises to Allah. And I'll introduce Brother David Muhammad. And yes, that's Sister Naira's husband. As
That's
he
right.
commented on the, claim that, brother. I'll go ahead and read the bio. David Muhammad is co-founder of Repair of the Black Family. He is a dedicated father of 5 children, 3 girls and 2 boys, happily married for 24 years to Sister Naira Muhammad.
That's right.
David Muhammad has been an active member of the Nation of Islam for 23 years, all of which has happened in St. Petersburg, Florida. While working alongside with his wife with running their foundation, David also works at a management firm, Management Experts, as a practical supervisor that teaches and trains the Hubbard administrative and management systems to dentists worldwide. David Muhammad is a level 1 certified Dianetics auditor. And I apologize, but part of the bio, I think, is cut off.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's a little cut off, but he holds that position, which is very important position in the area of organization and management and business. And so he applies the technology of the mind in the area of business. And so I will say that about our brother.
Praises be to Allah. Oh, yeah, it is. All right. So can we just bring them up?
Yes, I don't see any reason why not.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
There they are. There they are.
We're here. Yeah.
Family. I got all my sisters in me. Praise to Allah. Well, welcome to your first and second home.
That's right.
Yeah, look, in truth, you two are not guests.
Not
Yeah.
at all. Not at all.
No, you're as a guest, but
Listen,
You-
y'all
you
are
were
really not guests.
No, we were part of the 7th Region Coalition right there during the
Right, no,
pandemic.
first of all, they are a part
Right.
of the 7th region.
Right. They haven't left.
Great correction. Great correction.
right.
They have not left.
Right. They are part of this foundation of the 7th Region Coalition. So
Come on.
you know, but they have got so high, you know what I'm saying? They just up there. So we just got to,
I have an announcement. Look who's going to be popping up on the screen. There's
Hey!
saying Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
That's
Praise
right.
to Allah.
That's right.
Yes.
He's watching us organize and mobilize and
There
having
you go.
high-level discussions to help save lives.
That's right.
Praises be to Allah. So listen, everybody is waiting. So we just gonna get right into it. This question is for you, Sister Naira. It specifies in your bio that you specify in releasing generational trauma patterns. How is that release possible through science and technology?
Well, first and foremost, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan introduced us to a beautiful mental technology, right? Which is called Dianetics, which is the modern science of mental health. This mental technology is mental and spiritual, but it focuses on the mind. It helps one to be able to confront and handle their past experiences. And it's a very codified and it's very scientific and it's a valid therapy. So to help one to be able to eradicate, or should I say release those traumas, we actually use this modern science to mental health, which is called Dianetics.
Praises be to Allah. Thank you so much, Sister Naira. I appreciate that.
All right. So my question for I'm going to go to Brother Lawrence and Brother David. You both have been organizing men's only healing sessions using Dianetics and other auditing techniques. You've learned these techniques at the Church of Scientology. What are some of the greatest wins that have come out as a result of these particular sessions? I think
I guess I'll go
You,
first.
listen, we got some loaded questions, y'all. So y'all got to
Yeah, I got some more questions for real. I would say this. In doing those men's meetings, there's of course some things that I'm not privy to say because it wasn't back to men's meeting.
of course.
Sure.
Right,
But
right.
it was very, very eye-opening
Mm.
to see Black men open up.
Come on, teach the love.
Mm.
And because in this world we have to remain closed and guarded all the time.
Mm.
But we labeled that as a safe space.
Mm.
And so they were able to start expressing themselves in such a way. There was people cutting onions in there and stuff like that.
Right.
But to actually see that happen
Mm-hmm.
and to see brothers speak freely, that was just an eye-opening experience, and it let me know that that's something that's very, very much needed.
Praises be to Allah. Yeah, it's very hard to actually deal with, especially a man opening up. So I thank Allah for the vision that you and Brother David has created for the men. Brother David, can you enlighten us on that question as well?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you for the question. Brother Lawrence hit it on the head. That is one of the biggest successes, I would say, in terms of men opening up. I would just like to also reiterate the fact that, we are still available.
Come on, beloved.
Our brothers to continue to open up, because to start is one thing, right? But as Nipsey said, we in a marathon.
Come on. That's right.
The marathon definitely continues, right?
Right.
And if we look at this from the perspective of not being freed, past tense kind of thing, right? Like it's all done, it's all over, right? But look at it from the perspective of the free man continues to free himself,
right?
Because he knows that there's more work to do.
That's right. All praise.
May I say something also? So I'm not a part of a men's group, right? I'm not.
But Sister Naira, you held sisters.
Yes, and I still
Programs
do, but
for the sisters.
I just want to say something to them, those two, and
Yes,
them providing safe spaces. We call ourselves the power team, right? And being a part of their team is so rewarding that when brothers reach out to me, I could pass them on to able and capable hands, because right now, I have a lot of brothers that reach out to me that needs help, that wants help. And I know that when I pass that alley-oop, the goal gonna be made. Like the shot gonna be made. So to see them, working together, providing a safe place, providing, a space of vulnerability, a space of transparency, whether it's in a group or a one-on-one call, for me, it's rewarding because I know that when I turn them over, they're in safe hands. Their minds is going to be taken care of. Their hearts is going to be taken care of, and that they have the ability and the capability to, turn the key for that release to happen. So that's just what I want to say as just being a part of their team.
Praises be to Allah.
Praise to Allah. Wow. Well, I guess I would like to ask a question. So this question is for Brother David. Being in the Nation of Islam for 23 years, how do you think that the tool Dianetics impacted the nation, or had an impact on the nation, I should say?
Well, I think we all can agree that it definitely had an impact on the nation.
Oh, absolutely.
In more ways than one, right?
Yes, sir.
I think it impacted the nation in the positive sense of this. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, and I quote, "The greatest gift that he could give us after the supreme wisdom is the technology that will allow us to manifest it."
Mm.
That part.
End
Wow.
quote. Now, he said much more after that.
Right.
Right.
But in terms of purpose, for we as members in the Nation of Islam, I mean, what more could you ask for? What more could be found?
Right.
Right? You're talking about a discovery that will literally free the mind to move in a way that will allow it to continue to gain the freedom that it needs to flourish and prosper. Right? And a lot of times, you know, especially in this life and this world that we live in, that's exactly what we need to flourish and prosper. Who doesn't want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that it affected the Nation of Islam in a positive way, especially for me, specifically, to do just that.
Brother David and the rest of you, would you say that it made us more sensitive to each other's needs?
I like that.
Certainly, because, you know, in this technology, it just, I mean, like anything, right? When you gain a knowledge of self, right? When you gain a knowledge of self, you become more aware, you become more confident in your awareness, and you are able to display, right, and exercise that knowledge as the God does. So certainly, Brother Tony, yes.
All praise due to Allah.
Yeah. If I may.
Yes, absolutely, you may.
This is your platform, brother. Please speak.
I can speak for myself. And undergoing this technology, and as Brother David was saying, how it makes a person more aware. And so what happens is when we are around our fellow believers and we may see something that's a little bit other than ourselves, there's not the rush to condemn because we understand that that's not who they really are.
Right.
And when you understand the science of the mind, then we can look at what's happening with our brother and with our sister, and we have an understanding of what's going on, so we won't be so quick to just judge one another. We'll be patient with one another because I know that's not who they are. So this technology not only gives us the knowledge and the wisdom, but it also grants us patience with one another.
And Brother Lawrence, when we have patience with one another, when we communicate with each other on a level where we're seeking to heal one another, does that not bring the affinity up among the group? And does it not also start developing the unity that we need within the house?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's a whole lecture in itself, but yes.
Absolutely.
So,
I'll bring that up because it's a unity series.
Yeah, you know, but once we have the patience with one another, then that means now I'm willing to listen to you. We're willing to communicate. Everything starts off with communication. So as we communicate and the more we're going back and forth with one another, then there is the development of the affinity for one another. And as now, so we start to grow closer through communication, the affinity is rising. Now, all of a sudden, the reality starts to set in. We are able to now agree on things. And once you have the communication, the affinity, and the reality, then there's understanding. So wherever there is misunderstanding, it means one of those three components are missing. And this technology that was given to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan allows you and I to be able to delve deep into those three components And so we can come up with the understanding. And the
Right.
scripture says, in all thy getting, get understanding.
Understanding.
But
on.
we have never been taught how to come to the conclusion of understanding.
Come on.
So
Right.
we have been given that opportunity by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Church of Scientology.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to
Okay.
Allah.
Brother Lawrence, I'm going to ask you this question, though, because you're a computer science major. How do you combine Dianetics as a technology and what is generally called science and technology together?
Mhm. That's a great question. And so when we're dealing with science, science is the pursuit and the application of knowledge and
Right.
understanding of the natural and social world in a systematic way.
Come on, bro.
That's all science is. So I think a lot of times when we talk about science, we have this real out of the way thought
Right.
or definition in our minds of what science really is. Technology is just the application of the scientific
Science.
knowledge into
Right.
practical aims in our human life. So if we're dealing with it from that perspective and
Mhm.
dealing with computer science, all it means is to be able to think in a rational and in an
Right.
analytical way.
Right.
And when we are able to think in a rational and analytical way, now we won't be so overcome with emotions, and then we're acting out of the heat of passion, which can be harmful. But now we can sit back and we can reason with one another.
Come on.
And this science gives us the opportunity to do that.
Beautiful.
Praises be to Allah. And you know, Brother Lawrence, it also helps us with deliberative dialogue.
Mhm.
A lot of times we get so complacent because we're in a world now that we want to be right and we want to be liked. So when you're dealing with those type mindsets, you're not hearing reason, logic, nor science. That's just went out the window. It's like I'm on another plane. So when you're dealing with a person that reactive mind, and I know we're going to touch on the reactive mind,
Mm-hmm.
it's so out of I want to use the word out of whack, but what word?
it serves
Out of
its purpose.
alignment.
Well,
Out of alignment.
Sister
Yeah.
Felicia, out of alignment.
Right.
What method? And this question is for each and every one of y'all. What method is best used as it relates to aligning that person into the analytical mind?
May I?
Yes, you may.
Okay. So this is why it is so key to read the book, because you cannot be at the adverse effect of that which you know. And so when you know that when you are dealing with the person and you're dealing with the reactive mind, I'm not dealing with Sister Kalila when I'm dealing with the reactive mind. I'm dealing with the devil.
Come on.
So we have to, and that is page 64 of Dianetics. If there is ever to be a devil, quote Mr. Hubbard, it would be called the reactive mind.
Right.
So if I'm dealing with reactivity, no, I'm not dealing with my sister, the God self, which is the analytical mind. I'm dealing with the devil. So now I got to look past your faults and meet your needs and rise above emotions, not just into the thinkingness of a God, but the beingness of a God. In my presence, bring alignment. If I'm acting as a God. So now we go into where that affinity, that reality, that communication, and that understanding. Now, when you understand the reactive mind, you know how to maneuver through.
Right.
And guess what? Deactivate that mind. Right? But if we're so overstimulative, if we are overstimulated, we're getting keyed in, then we're going to go right into the traps of the devil. So the first thing to do to get anybody in alignment with the God self is understanding, as scripture says. A double-minded man is unstable in all their ways. This
Come
is
on.
true. We have two minds. So you just got to be able to identify, write this down, whoever listening to me right now.
Write it down, y'all. Write it down.
And differentiate what mind you're dealing with. Because I'm not going to, here we go. This is Naira saying, I'm not going to deal with the devil. I don't play with him because I know he got power. Okay? But I got more power in my God ability. So my God ability is going to, Sister Michelle, rise above and deal with that God self.
Right.
And then guess what? You get to deactivate the devil because you're not going back and forth with that mind.
Right.
That's how you get into alignment.
Teach.
Right.
Awesome.
And then I can use another language. When you walk in any room, if your aura, your atmosphere is at peace, you bring peace.
Right.
And that person falls in alignment with peace. But if we're chaotic, then guess what?
It just adds to the chaos.
The roof is on fire.
Hey.
So the answer to your question is just know what mind you're dealing with. And the best way to know the reactive mind is study where the reactive mind is taught at in the book.
Praises be to Allah. Brother David, that same question, can you expound?
Absolutely. So, whew. You know, what I really want to say is hallelujah. Because I got the Spirit of God sitting next to me.
Right.
And I have a day for me.
Yes, ma'am. You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has another quote. He says, wisdom is known of its children. And it's not what you say, it's what you can produce. And when you know a thing, when you're dealing with what's called tonight, the science of the mind.
Come on, beloved.
When you've been trained to see a thing,
right,
like my wife just said, identify,
right,
and differentiate, you know what you're looking at.
Right.
Right? In the Supreme Wisdom, it says what? He didn't care about the poor part.
That's right.
Didn't.
Teach.
Right? It's equivalent language. There's a parallel universe. All we have to do is be able to identify it so that we can now exercise the power of the God in us and eliminate, or as my wife says, eradicate that devil. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we'll have him wrapped around our pinky finger, right?
Right. That's
We
right.
Wouldn't even know they were there.
He was there.
That's
Right? If we was focused on, right, raising the God in what we see as we say our brother and our sister.
That's right.
Right? When we see the black man and woman, who we looking at?
Right.
God.
Okay.
God, beloved.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how am I going to treat that God?
Come on.
Teach.
I want to raise him.
Right.
It's my job. It's my duty to raise him. I don't see nothing else. Because I know what lies on the other side or besides the reactive mind.
Come on,
Praise be to Allah. All right, let's join this fire, Brother Lawrence. Same question, brother.
I would like to say this. I'll put it like this. Whenever I'm asked about the mind, Dianetics, anything like that, the first thing that I always tell people is study the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, to some people, that's a shock. But there is nothing that's in this Dianetics book that is not in our teaching.
Right.
For instance, in Our Savior Has Arrived, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the chapter entitled "He Allah Makes All Things New."
Mm-hmm.
Come on, brother.
Come on, Brother Lawrence.
Come on, brother Lauren.
Come on, beloved.
He says that first, He, Allah, makes for us a new mind
Mhm,
and a new way of thinking.
Come on.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
And listen at this. He says he builds our minds according to the way gods think,
That's right.
and not the way of thinking of prophets. So wait a minute, we got to ask ourselves the question. He said that the old way of thinking will be done away with. Why? Because we'll be attracted by a new way of teaching.
Come on.
And so if Master Farad Muhammad is going to make a new mind for us, he's going to get rid of that. What is the way? What's the methodology? What's the procedure that he's going to use in order to make a new mind for us? So what's happened is he is giving us the way, but it's not in the way that you and I study it at the church. At the church is very, very scientific.
Right.
But in the nation of Islam, we must understand the time that we were given this information, what was happening in the world during that time,
Right.
and our level of perception and understanding at that time.
Right.
So Master Farad Muhammad gave us the teachings where a child could understand them, and he gave us a lot of parables. He gave us a lot of allegories. But if we were to practice those things, then we will be able to master ourselves.
Come on, beloved.
And so everything is in the teaching. I'm gonna give you this one thing right quick. I like to read out of this book. I call it the Green Book.
Ooh, that's my
Oh,
favorite
yes.
book too, Brother Lawrence. That's my favorite
You know
book
what,
too, Brother Lawrence. That's my favorite book
The
too, Brother Lawrence.
restrictive law of Islam is our
Yes.
success.
I read from that one all the time, brother.
But there is a small paragraph in here that not a lot of people catch, because when I ask them about it, they say they never read it.
Test me, Brother.
But Minister Farrakhan was talking about how his ministers are great ministers, but he wanted them to become pastors or pastoral.
Yeah, pastoral.
Come on.
Yep.
Right?
Mhm.
He says, so I've heard some good preaching from these student ministers of the Nation of Islam, and I'm happy over the good preaching. And now I want to be made joyful over how we handle the affairs of our mosque and the problems of the believers. Then it says some examples of pastoral duties that we have to properly administrate over are, and check out what's number one. Believers that have mental challenges.
Right there.
He said a minister may be fine with the Bible and the Quran, but you might not be able to handle some of the problems that are being presented by those of us who live in a world that is dying, and we're trying to survive in such a world. So Minister Farrakhan wanted all of his ministers to become Dianetics auditors.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So not only will they deliver the word spiritually, but they'll also be able to deliver the word mentally.
Right.
And be able to help all of our people. But we have all of this. Study guide number 18, Rising Above Emotions into the Thinking of God. We have it all. But this just goes into the scientific way and methodology of it, where when you put it together, the supreme wisdom with the supreme technology, there's nothing that can stop us there.
Nothing.
So
That's right.
I'll end it right there.
Praise
It's
be
a
to
lot.
God. A great ending, Brother Lawrence. Great ending.
So, Sister Naira, what inspired you to decide to go clear? And what is going clear, and how has your life changed since this occurred?
Well, let me just say this. when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan took us to the Church of Scientology. I was serving as a student MGT captain, and I was responsible for leading the lives of women. But what most people may have not known is I was suffering in silence with my father's death. Okay. Every time his birthday would come, every time his passing anniversary would come, I could not recall memories of my dad, which is, by the way, let me see if we could put y'all. I don't know if y'all can see him back there, but I'm not gonna worry about that. But anyway, he's behind me. Okay. I could not recall memories without my heart welting up in tears or tears falling down my face. But here's how it impacted me as a leader in the Nation of Islam. When somebody would die, I couldn't go to that funeral because I was being stimulated, didn't know the word for it.
Yeah.
But all I know is I had this saying, man, maybe somebody that's listening to me, I can't take that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now here it is. And I have other things. Well, I just choose this story. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Okay. That's where your body, the pain, you internalize it. Why? Because I'm suppressing the pain. When I joined the Nation of Islam, the first thing that was whispered into my ear, I was only in the nation less than a year. One of our pioneers at my dad's funeral said, "Stop that crying. You know that's not your daddy." At that time, she was implanting an engram. Right? So I suppressed all crying. I just immediately stopped. Didn't know this at the time. So let's fast forward 10 years. I'm about to tell you why I went. I'm going to answer your question. Fast forward 10 years. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan introduced us to Dianetics. I went in on obedience. I had one session. Somebody mark that down. One session. And it blew 10 years of grief.
Wow.
Grief. Suppressed grief. Okay? With that being said, it was connected to when my little brother passed away. But all of that blew. I did not know that it actually blew until 1 year later, to the degree that it did. I was in the course room and I was writing the date, and it was my dad's birthday. Where 1 year prior, I would be in the bed sick and he would have to nurse me back to health. Okay. With that being said, that type of relief sent me on a Dianetics explosion because I wanted you know, somebody right. I want for my brothers and sisters of what I want for myself. I have experienced so much relief that I wanted to continue on, and I was seeing, and I still see miracles using this. But at some point, after experiencing and listening to the minister about going clear, I made up in my mind that I wanted to be one of the ones to go and say to him, "Brother Minister, I did it. And it is or it's not."
Right.
And by Allah's permission and my persistency, my dedication to report to my father, I was going to report for him, but I found benefits for myself.
Come on.
And to experience that love, I can never tell you what clear is because it's different for every person. But for me, for me, I don't have a reactive mind. But for me, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us 6 words: accept your own and be yourself. What is your own self? Righteous. I'm in present time. I can make righteous decisions, and they're my decisions. They're not my mother's. They're not my father. Anything that I go through is me. I'm not reacting for my past. I'm not stuck in my past. I'm not hung up on some situation. 75% of your attention, if you're listening to me right now and you have a reactive mind, 75% of your attention is stuck in the past. That's why people feel stuck, because they have some incident, some situation that they cannot work themselves through. But with auditing, You get to find that. The beautiful thing about this technology is it don't just deal with things that you know. It
Right.
is geared to go to that unknown and get
Right.
to the root,
Mm-hmm.
the root of why you're going through it. So what made me go clear? Because I kept getting to the root of myself. Oh God, ooh, I didn't even know that was there. Woo!
Right.
Like,
Right.
and so the more it's like an onion, the more I was pulling back that pain, and the more life force, and the more cheerful, and the more real happiness, as the Supreme Wisdom say, pursue happiness.
Mm-hmm.
The more real happy, it's not an imposter syndrome. I'm really happy.
Right. Right.
You feel me?
Yes.
The more I was able, and I'm able to respond to the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the way the Savior is asking us to become as gods. So it's much more that I can say, but when I think of the value of the woman and who we are and our level of responsibility, we deserve to be unburdened.
Right.
Yes.
We
Yes.
deserve.
Come on.
Yes.
We deserve to give birth to a new mind, a new reality,
Come
a
on,
new
sis. Come on.
civilization. And we do it with the teachers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. But here's what I want to say today. I don't have no disruptions or interference of my own demons.
Yeah.
Done.
Praise be to Allah.
I could say more, but I hope
Listen.
so,
Yes, thank
I'm just grateful, and I'll leave this.
Oh, praise due to Allah.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan saved my life twice. When I first heard him with the teachers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and when he gave me, I'm just saying me, I know he gave it to everybody, but I'm talking about me. When he gave me genetics, and I was able to get rid of this reactive mind, and I'm able to be his full and complete student.
Yes.
All
Praise be to Allah.
Oh, praise be to Allah.
To all of you, for those that are tuning in that may not know what Dianetics is, if you could describe what Dianetics is, and I'm going to add this other question. Beyond Dianetics auditing, what's involved in the auditing process, and are there other forms of auditing that people could benefit from? That something in regards to auditing, how can people benefit generally from the experience? Any three of you?
I just got through. I can, but Brother Lawrence, Brother
Okay, I'll go. So, and I'm glad you brought that up, beloved, because we always want to make sure that we know what it is that we're talking about and what's going on.
Yes, sir.
So the minister introduced us to Dianetics, right? The modern science of mental health. And I'll read it from here. So Dianetics is the science of thought. It comes from the Greek word dianous or dia, which means through, and nous means the mind or soul. And so Dianetics basically is dealing with what the mind is doing to the body.
Come on, beloved.
And so sometimes we may find ourselves with certain ailments, certain little nuances, or little what they call idiosyncrasies or
Syncrasy.
Yes.
Idiosyncrasies. Yeah.
And we may find, and we don't know why. We don't know where those little things come from, but it's something that's happened to us in our past, in our life, that's affecting us today. And so Dianetics helps us to get to the root of those things, to be able to face and confront those things. And once you and I are able to confront those things, then they no longer have power over us. And so the minister says in the study guides about overcoming difficulty, he says you must face difficulty.
Right.
And so that word face also is confront. And so the more we run away, the more we turn away from difficulties, then the weaker our power gets. But the more we face or confront those difficulties, then that's the more powerful that we become, because then we realize that the thing that we were afraid of, it really held no power over us. And that
Right.
goes to what Brother David was saying about having the devil wrapped around your little finger, because we look at the devil as this big, strong, powerful entity. But really, in our lessons, it asks us, what is the power of the devil in comparison to the original man?
Come on.
And it's nothing in comparison to the original man. So these quote unquote engrams, or these things that has happened in our lives, those things are little devils that's running around in our minds.
Right.
And we now are able to, with this science, with this technology, to find them, because a lot of them we don't even know exist.
That's right.
But we're able to find them, seek them out, and eradicate them. And that now gives you and I back some of the spirit or life force that's been bottled up all of these years. So I'm glad you asked that question, beloved.
Praise be to Allah.
And yes, there is higher levels of auditing that one can benefit from. And so I'm very trained in that. And with that different Scientology auditing, it helps one to get rid of those things in a gradient, so that you can now begin to get to the point where you can actually confront your reactive mind. So it may handle lesser things that you can actually look at, because everybody can't look at their devils and actually come face to face with it.
Right.
That's why you can have one session. If you're not at the proper tone level, you can have one session, and that session can be so powerful that you don't want to do it anymore, because you
I experienced that before.
energy. You didn't have enough life for it. So Scientology auditing literally helps you to
Free up.
confront those things,
Right.
to free up more energy. So now
Right.
when you actually get to the engrams, let me use the language that we can understand. When you get to your demon,
Right.
now you have the energy to fight those demons and actually here's the word, eradicate. Once you eradicate a demon, let's just say one, you're never going to be affected by it. You can recall it, but it will not, as Brother Lawrence said,
Right.
force and power over you ever again in life. Ever.
Forever.
I was thinking the same thing. Felicia. Ever, and ever.
But that happened to me, Sister Naira, when I was in session once. It was so powerful that after my session, I ran to the bathroom. It was just like, I was drained. I was, but I said, I ain't no punk. I went back out there and I was, because, and the beautiful thing, the person who was auditing me at the time, she said, I think we need to go back in. And I said, I think you're right. Because I'm going to tell you, I went to the bathroom and I wasn't going to come back out. So something happened. And when we dealt with it, it was such a beautiful experience. And I share this with people, because, I can say it, it was about my father. But my father, it was more so on a different level of just abuse, as it relates to the family, and people, he was praised by my other siblings, but I didn't see that praise. So that came up, and it was like, because I felt like, okay, maybe it's just me that I'm feeling this way, but no, it was something that it had to come out, it was a fear that I did not share, but in my auditing session, it made me conquer that and made me go with it head on to find out really what was going on and why I can face it. So it was actually a beautiful experience, and I encourage people. And I mean, and I know I got to see you for a session, Sister Naira, because
I'm ready.
listen,
I'm ready
because
for everybody on here. I'm ready for
listen, because listen, because Savior's Day was such a beautiful exchange of just thought, and you know, and of course, it was my first Savior's Day without my mom, so everybody was like, you know, those who didn't know that she passed, you know, was like, so that brung up that energy, right? And then you know,
Mhm.
some that you know knew she passed, she was like, oh, you know, so it was like that energy. So you know, brother Akili was like, Sister Kalila, you got to do a lost assist for your mom. You have to
And
do it. It's just mandatory. You have to. I know that you're strong and you're just you're the Sister Kalila, but you really have to get that done. So I listen.
we got you, sis. Whenever we can make
Praises be to Allah.
I just want to say this, if I can just end on this note with that
Yes.
and what you just said, because you brought up a thought.
Yes.
What this beautiful science of the mind technology is affording us is an opportunity for generational healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an opportunity, and it's an opportunity to actually not just help yourself, because thought is impressed at a cellular level.
Right.
So, you know, if you study epigenetics or anything like that, it's same with Dianetics. You know, this is a programming at a cellular level that not only do you get to help the future generations, but you also get to go back to the past. And you get to address those things at a cellular level that our grandmothers didn't have access to. Some things that they wanted to be free, or our grandfathers or whatever. So when I think about using this technology, this is not a band-aid for me. This is not something that's going to temporarily fix you, and then, you know, 2 years later, you're going to be sitting back talking about the same thing. When I sit a person in my chair, I know they're not just better for that moment, but generations have been addressed.
Right.
Generations. So what I'm saying to anybody that's listening to this, when you're talking about this methodology, this technology, it's not the only thing on the planet, but I have found it for me in my life the best thing when it comes to dealing with mental health, right? And talking about eradicating generational trauma, generational drama, so that you can be the best you in whatever walk of life you're in, whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Jewish, whatever, you can be the best of that, right?
Right.
So as we look at this technology, I just want to say it takes courage to deal with your demons. It takes courage to deal with somebody else's demon. And what undergirds courage for me is love, because it took a lot of self-love to sit in a chair day in and day out. And this is the part, Sister Felicia, that you asked about going clear. Day in and day out, confronting my mind that, yes, it was draining at times, but I was persistent on being able to free me. That's self-love. For me, I was looking for freedom out there. Okay, we're going to fight this person, going to do that. But what about the freedom of my own soul? What about my own impediments? What about granting me freedom? You understand? But I needed to know what I needed to be free from. What about justice for me? But I needed to know where I need to exercise justice on me. You understand? So when we're looking at this, I'll just say to everybody, grant yourself some grace and give yourself an opportunity to help the next generation obtain total freedom. What does that look like? Free of your own impediments, where you don't have to readdress them anymore once it's handled correctly. And that's what I'm able to do as a clear and as one that's trained in dealing with this, so that when I help a person, I have certainty that that is done.
Praises be to Allah. Praises be to Allah. Well, we could close out the show now. You know, I'm just kidding. Praises be to Allah.
We are winding it down, though.
Yeah, we are. Well, just a couple of quick questions. So, for Brother David, Can you provide examples of Dianetic techniques used to address specifically mental health concerns?
Well, yes. However, if I may, and I want to say this respectfully, so every situation is different,
Right.
right? And so okay, well, I'll just say it like this. There are techniques, as you said, to handle death or losses, right? That we all experience.
Right.
There are techniques that handle pain, body pain, right? There are techniques that handle grief, anger, a lot of different things. A lot of different things, right?
Right.
I think more, Sister Kalila, in my humble opinion, I think more of what needs to be said in my answer to your question is this. That word confront means a lot. And what I mean by that is taken from what Brother Lawrence has shared with us when the minister said about facing. My wife mentioned about the word courage, right? We just have to literally put aside the BS and confess, right, that we need help.
That's the point.
Put the ego away.
Right. And just remember that on the other side of that pain, it's okay to heal. It's all right to smile.
Right.
It's freedom in that. It's okay to be able to share with another man, bruh, I love you.
Right.
And be good with saying that.
Right.
And not hurting or embarrassed because of whatever is attached to that.
Right.
Right? When we say, I'm going to give it to God, as they say in the church, right?
Right.
Don't look outside yourself.
Come on.
We have to stop looking outside of ourselves. It's not a spooky thing that's going to happen. There literally are those of us who have a trained ability to help one to seek out the devil with specific questions
That's the part.
that will allow you to identify and differentiate the uncomfortableness, the forgetfulness, the ridiculousness, the whatever condition it is that's lying in our way to prevent us from accessing our God power.
Come on, beloved.
And as much as, you know, yeah, there's other therapy, okay?
Right.
But I'm talking about healing. I'm talking about eradication. I'm talking about literally being able to see something, know what it is, and get rid of it.
My God.
That's right.
And it's not followed with a pill.
In fact, Brother David, you'll probably be getting rid of all your pills.
Right.
Everything.
Basically.
All of them.
That's right.
And one more, can I say one thing?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I just want to say 3 things as it relates to that question. The power of listening. Most of us just want to be heard. We don't want to be told what's wrong with us. I just need you to listen to me.
Right.
The second thing is validation. We are invalidated people. Validate where a person, right where they are, validate it. And the last thing is acknowledgement. Being able to acknowledge a person in the conversation. If we could do those 3 things, that's healing within itself. This is why an auditor, which is a counselor, is trained how to listen and compute. And so when you and I become professional listeners, trying to tell the person what's wrong with them, not trying to evaluate for them, validate versus evaluate. Somebody can write that down. I'm a coach, so y'all gonna find me saying when it's important, write that down.
Write it down.
Because when you go back and look at your notes, you're gonna be like, I didn't really catch it like that the first time. Okay, so validate versus evaluate.
Right.
Acknowledge. See how you acknowledge me? Acknowledge, because that says to me, this is healing. You heard me. You see me. When you validate, you see me, not just me, the physical. You see my pain. You see my spirit. You see my thought. You see me.
Right.
You ever have somebody to just really notice you?
Right.
That is so powerful. That's healing. And we don't always have to be sitting in a chair. I can be sitting here writing conversation. The most therapeutic conversation probably ever, because I'm trained.
Right.
That's the power of being trained.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. We have a last question.
And then it'll be Ramadan Mubarak. We got
Look.
Well, we
Oh, man.
I was going to say, and hopefully I don't freeze up on this last one because I really want to ask this question.
Go ahead, Sister Michelle.
Lord. All right. Anyway. All right. So if I can get it out, what are some practical applications of Dianetic principles? And anybody can answer this question in everyday life for improving mental clarity and emotional stability.
We're gonna pass it to Brother Lawrence because we've been talking over here.
Oh yeah, Brother Lawrence gonna do the mic drop.
Can you repeat the question, sis?
Yes, sir. What are some practical applications of Dianetics principles in everyday life for improving mental clarity and emotional stability? So some practical applications.
Yes. One thing that we can do that everyone is able to do is go take a walk.
Yes, sir.
Everyone can get out of their homes and just take a walk and observe nature. Look at things. But it's not just looking, but it's making sure that you actually see the thing. And then you acknowledge that you see it. Sometimes we can walk right around our neighborhoods and we observe a new neighbor that's been living there for 10 years and we didn't even know that they lived there. Because now we're walking not just to be walking, but we're walking now with a purpose. And so what that does is when we take a walk, and all of the focus that we've had on our problems and on our pain and everything that's going on with us personally, now we start to turn outwardly and focus on the exterior world that's around us, because the more pain that we have bottled up in ourselves, then we no longer take notice to the things around us. And now we become isolated in our own little prison. But by just simply taking a walk, it allows us to come out of the cage and be able to experience life a little bit better. And I'll say this: because we have a lot of new believers in the nation now since the minister has given us this technology.
Right.
And some of them don't even know what Dianetics is or
Right.
why they even need Dianetics.
Right. That is true.
The minister says that everybody who walks through the door has a problem.
Mhm.
And so if everyone that walks through the door has a problem, then that means our job is not done.
That's
right.
right.
And
That's
so,
right.
you know, there may be believers or just whoever listening to this, they may say, well, I'm good. I don't need Dianetics. What do I need that for? But if you've been born, you need Dianetics.
My God.
So any pain that you have experienced in your life, you need Dianetics. Emotional pain, physical pain. You had a loss in your life. You may have been abused in your life. You may have been what's called invalidated. You may have been suppressed in this life. You feel crushed, like somebody or something is holding you down. If that's the case, there's a need for Dianetics. You are looking at a person who was on the verge of suicide. And I was a student minister in the nation at that time. So I have to teach others, but when I'm at home, I'm thinking about suicide. Think about that.
My God.
Until the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan introduced us to this technology, and my brother and my sister, I had an angel that came and brought it to me.
Come on, beloved.
Sister Connie Muhammad. I always say her name.
Come on.
Sister Connie brought this to me out of Dallas. And she caught me in a state of near suicide. And when I heard it, my ears perked up. And she was playing me a lecture from, at that time, student minister Tony on the West Coast. And he had a lecture series called The Supreme Wisdom. And in there, he was talking about an experience that he had. And I said, whatever that is, I want
that. Right.
And from that point on, it's been no turning back. So what I'm saying, family, all of us need this.
Right.
Because the believers are going through it right now. Anybody that's alive in this world, we are going through it. And if we are not of sound mind, if we are not of clear thoughts,
Come on,
and
beloved.
if we have all these negative thoughts that's invading our minds, then we will get caught up in a dying world, and we don't want that. So yes, there's techniques, taking a walk, there's different things like this. And lastly, I'll say this. Yes, there are a lot of techniques for a lot of different things, but I would not want us to look at Dianetics from that perspective.
Right.
Dianetics is holistic. It's not piecemeal. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So it deals with the whole person. So as we go through the process and the procedures, it doesn't make a difference what we are dealing with in our lives. The process will find it. So we don't have to worry about, okay, well, this is a situation, this is a situation, this is a situation. No, we're going to catch it all.
That's right.
So it's a holistic system. And if we just undergo the process, we'll all be made better.
I just want to add something, please, if I may.
You may, sir. This is your platform.
Yes, sir. This is just from a practical perspective so that we get the idea of what Dianetics can help us do. Okay,
Right.
so when you experience something of pain, or of a low level or vibratory experience, right? What happens is your attention, okay? The definition of attention is when interest becomes fixed. So your attention drives itself inward.
That's right.
So all of your thoughts are now on yourself and or this experience that you have experienced and all of the badness about it.
That's right.
So
That's
your
right.
attention is just here, it's fixed, and it's not nowhere else.
Mm.
The reason why the word freedom is used is because when you experience Dianetics, literally, when the right questions are asked, it gets you to look.
Mm.
When you begin to look, sight allows you to look outside of self.
Come on, beloved.
Mm.
So now your attention is going outside of you,
Mm.
which is where it should be.
Mhm.
Mm.
Now we're able to not just help ourselves because our attention is outward, we able to see, we able to notice. Our awareness comes up. Literally, our perceptive ability increases and we are more aware, we're more conscious of the world outside of ourselves.
Come on.
We all should want that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
If I may, Sister Michelle, thank you, babe. That was very powerful.
Crazy too.
And Brother Lawrence, that's why we're the power team. Okay. So anyway, I just want to give an exercise that one, because you asked about clarity. This is not an auditing action. Okay. This is something that can help you alleviate some of the things that you may be going through. Sin is heavy. I'm gonna say it one more time. Sin is heavy on the mind.
Yes.
Okay. So I tell people, just get you a white piece of paper. On one side, just put harmful actions. Write the word harmful actions. On the other side, put things that you are withholding, things that you don't want nobody to know about. This is just between you and your Lord.
Right.
Make a line down the middle of that paper. Write down harmful actions that you've done that you don't want nobody to know. To yourself, to other people, yourself, your family, your community, your nation, humanity. Just write it down. And then that's the harmful things. And then the things that you don't want nobody to know, write that down. You will see that will start to just free up the space on your mind. And then after you do it, just take it and rip it up. But you got it out of here and you put it here.
Right.
And it will help you to be able to alleviate some of the stress, the sin that's on your mind that you're hiding. You don't want nobody to know, or you know you did something. That's a big confront. That's a big facing.
Right.
That's a big truth moment for you. It's a big transparency moment. But I promise you, if you do it, you're gonna feel so much better, and you'll have more room to be yourself. You'll have more room to create that love. You'll have more room to be compassionate. You'll have more room, because when you start looking at those things, you're like, wow, if you're a striving righteous person, you ain't gonna want to do it no more.
That's right.
So that's just a little exercise. All the time, we don't have to sit in somebody's chair. We just got to be willing to be. Freedom is this: tell yourself the truth.
Tell yourself the truth.
Come on.
I'm gonna say it one more time.
Come on.
Freedom is this. That's how I went clear, Sister Felicia. I just kept telling the truth.
Yeah.
And it was okay. Maybe it's just me. It was hard to keep telling the truth. I wasn't running from myself anymore. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell myself the truth. Because the auditor don't care. The auditor very highly trained. We don't care. We just want you to go free.
Right.
Sister Naira, I remember when Student Minister Rasul was the 7th Regional Minister. He said something very profound in regards to what you just said. He said that the path towards self-mastery begins with practicing honesty with self.
That's it. So I hope and pray that we was able to say something.
What?
With the science of the mind.
Come on.
You said it, and you said more than listen. I know, look, just with the conversation alone, it was freeing. And I thank you. First of all, every time you come on the show, you all come on the show, it's always such an uplifting. It's always such a reminder that we still have time to get it right.
That's right. Absolutely.
And the fact that we have the tool and we were blessed with the tool, that means either we want to be the way we are or we want to get out of our own way.
That's right.
That's right.
And the beautiful thing about Allah, He gives us choices.
That's right.
And we just need to choose the right choice in order to be closer to Him.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Because
Absolutely.
reactive mind, if you're going to just stay reactive, then you, of course, it's not going to be close to Him, because we already know, we have identified who the reactive mind is.
Absolutely.
Look
It is
So that-
any further.
Right.
That's
So
right there.
how can you be a person of peace and want to still maintain the reactive mind?
Mm.
They say in the scripture it says no man can serve two masters. You gotta love one and hate the other. And that's the power of choice. We do get to choose. Allah gives us free will. So, and I just wanted to close out that one thought. I have the harmful action, have the withholds, or the things that you're not telling anybody. And the last thing is practice forgiveness. Write down everything. I forgive myself for, I forgive myself for this, I forgive myself. Okay, we're in the 10 days of forgiveness. Practice forgiving
Right.
yourself and others.
That's right. That's right. Oh, I like to say this too.
Yes,
From
go ahead.
this day forward, any podcast that I am on, I'm going to recruit Sister Felicia to read my bio. I didn't even know if I could come behind my own bio. I don't
Well, she
Praise
needs
be
to
to
pop up
Allah.
on a podcast. Oh no, she's just here to read the bio.
know.
Here's
Bio
a
reader.
read my
She's just a
bio.
bio reader.
Absolutely.
Praise be to Allah. I want for you what I want for myself, my brother.
Praises
I
be
know,
to
I know
Allah.
y'all closing out, but on
Yes.
behalf of this power team, I want to leave us with this quote.
Yes.
Dianetics is valid therapy.
That's right.
I overstand. I concur. I second that emotion. And with that being said, we have a segment on Sister Naira that's called the Knowledge Corner.
Okay.
And the Knowledge Corner is when you gain knowledge, you gain power.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, what I wanted to bring to the Knowledge Corner is the key points of Dianetics.
Yay.
So
Okay.
the beautiful thing about the key points of Dianetics is when you're dealing with the basic idea of Dianetics, that the mind consists of two parts, as we just
Yes.
dealt with, the analytical mind and the reactive mind. The
Right.
reactive mind, as we have identified, is the devil, the mind that operates when a person is physically unconscious, acting as a recorded shock, trauma, pain, otherwise harmful memories.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be mindful of who we are and what we are capable of doing to overcome the reactive mind into the analytical mind. And that's what Dianetics.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our knowledge corner. And we're going to close out with some key points for, so first of all, Sister Naira is always booked and busy. So it's an honor for them to be on the show, because listen, our girl is, listen, when she clears, she's taking everybody with her. And I love it. And I love it. So with that being said, she has a lot. This is just two things that she
Just
has
two.
up. Just two that
Just
she
two.
has upcoming. So Sister Naira, can you kind of elaborate on what is upcoming for us?
Oh, absolutely. Now I'm so excited about this. As you can see, the happiness and expansion, Brother David and Sister Naira will be celebrating our 25th year anniversary. Yes,
Woo!
Give thanks.
love is real.
Yeah.
So we are renewing our vows, and that's going to take place in Clearwater, Florida. And as a result of us just being happily married, everything that you have heard us talk about tonight with the teachers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and all of the beautiful technology where you can access and activate your goals, your dreams, your aspirations with precision, we are having it's a 2-day weekend, but we're saying 3 because we want you to come on Friday. A 3-day weekend that is going to be absolutely amazing. We have some very powerful speakers that's coming that's going to help assist us to understand the technology, as well as get tools to help expand your business, help with your self-confidence, help with your relationships. Yes, we're going to have relationships, technology on how to have a successful relationships, and and also how to increase your money, right? And much, much more. So that's going to happen May 17th through the 20th. If you want more information, you can call me at 727-623-5555, and you can call 727-222-7830. I have booked the room for 1,000 people. The question is, will you be one in the number? In addition to that, as you can see, I said earlier that women, we have to be found in sacred spaces that we can actually unburden ourselves and be able to have a space where women can connect and collaborate together. Sister Naira has a community of women where we are helping to develop that new mind, that new woman, so that we can come up into and cultivate higher awarenesses, develop our true, authentic selves to be able to be trustworthy. Here's the key word right here: trust one another, to be able to experience emotional balance, mental health, networking, and so much more. We're a community of women that have decided that our minds is the key to our new realities. So if you're looking for a safe place where you can be able to not just be a part of a community of women, but to work with Sister Naira. To work with Sister Naira is my give back. Then I definitely advise you to email me at healonpurposecoach@gmail.com. Every Thursday, 7:00 p.m. Matter of fact, my community is watching now. It's every Thursday.
Let's go, community. Let's go.
Welcome, community.
Yeah,
they are
that's right.
Here, whether they on YouTube, somewhere they watch it. So every Thursday at 7:00 p.m. Those are 2 things. And so okay, I want to announce other stuff, but that's it. Thank y'all very much.
Be sure to go to the website.
It's not up there, but we have this new one, our leadership and development program, the leadership in business. We're helping people to develop themselves as leaders. We're helping people to develop their businesses from ground zero or wherever you are, and helps with expansion. So there you go. Awesome. That's all that Sister Naira and Brother David. Sister Naira, because everything I do, everything. Brother David is right there.
everything.
And get me in alignment and everything else, so I can never leave my husband out. And that's
right. Praises be to Allah.
And have a safety in the marriage, because that's a very important part of dynamics.
That is true. That is key. Well, praises be to Allah. First, I cannot thank you all enough for I must just say divine. I have to, because if nobody did not feel what I felt in this show, then we already know where they're at. No. But I felt divine. Right. Just being honest. I just got to be honest.
Tell the truth.
And if nobody didn't feel the love from my brothers and sister on this show, that they want to help. They are a part of the 7th Region Coalition, where they help save lives. They are continuing to help save lives as we speak.
Whenever our brothers and sisters have a program in the community, we should support.
We should support.
Their initiatives because it only benefits us. And if we get benefited from what they are doing, we start building up a stronger, more unified community as believers in the Nation of Islam, but as a community in general.
Right.
As Black people that are genuinely interested in the development of our people, as Latinos, as Native Americans who are suffering, and anyone who is suffering, we start building the stronger bond, and we are more apt to saving lives. I want to highlight something that our student regional minister said earlier, right on this platform here. He said, 7th Region Coalition to help save lives. We cannot help save lives if we're not doing so mentally. We need mental resurrection for our people and humanity.
And that's what we're all about. That's what we're here for.
And Sister Khalila, talking about support.
You better say it, Brother Tony. Let's deal with that.
Support. Will you support us?
Listen.
StreamYard is not free. Our services are free. We're on here out of the kindness and love of out of our hearts, but
that's right.
StreamYard is not free.
It's not.
Other initiatives that we're involved in, they're not free. We need your support.
That's right, Brother Tony.
Costs, and so that we could continue providing to you, the general public, quality programming that is aimed towards saving lives. We thank you for whatever you're able to give. It does not have to be a large amount, although we will accept a large amount if you send it.
Right.
And you will be blessed tenfold.
And you'll be blessed and highly favored.
Right.
But no.
Okay.
But whatever you could spare of your finances, it will be greatly appreciated here tonight. You can give $1, $2, $5, $10.
I don't know why you be going so low. Like
I'm building it up. $50,
$100,
$10,000, $1 million if you have it.
Right. And
the women that's listening, if you all can donate something tonight, that would be very, very helpful.
Praises be to Allah. The women of God. Please, the women of God. Yes. And keep in mind.
And the men. Any men who are listening tonight.
That's right.
If you have a pocket or a wallet or even a man bag. Right. And in this case, actually, I have to say a cell phone.
Right. Talk that talk, brother.
And go and punch the numbers.
No, you just go to just press the Cash App and just send a little something.
There you go.
And for those of you who have already donated, it should already be there in your memory, right? So you just go to the memory and just go right there. We should be on some type of continuation every Thursday. I'm just saying that was just for the people in the back. But please.
In other words, you see us. You see us.
You see, like Sister Naira say, see us.
Notice that cash.
Notice that cash.
I just gave, so everybody else can give.
Praises be to Allah.
Praises
due to Allah. Okay. And so with that being said, Brother Tony, can you please bless us by closing us out?
Look, I'm gonna say like the famous words of Brother Lyle when he was
Brother Lyle,
if you're tuning in, brother, we're reserving a space for you when you're ready to come back, beloved. We're not a clique, we're not a crew, we're not a gang, but who are we?
We the
7th Region Coalition.